it becomes to a certain point where it's just like it's kind of blasphemous. Like how many
Great
examples do you
players are
need?
gonna
Like
sacrifice their careers.
Odell was on the way to like
Yes.
greatness.
Yeah.
You say Malik's on the way to greatness, and like these guys are suffering. Like I think it's going to end up getting to a point to where you're going to have premier receivers, premier skill players. Like, yo, I don't want to play in New York because I don't want to play on this turf.
Welcome to another episode of Why is Draymond Green, talking about football with me, NFL insider Jordan Schultz, and I'm joined, as always, by NBA champ and NFL super fan Draymond Green. We've got a great show planned for you today. The Jags star defensive lineman Arik Armstead joining us later, so you're going to want to stick around for that. But first, Draymond had media day today, which was apparently awesome. Actually, that's a great place to start. Draymond, this is like your 37th career media day. What is it like at this point? I mean, are you going through the motions or do you have fun with it?
You know, this is year 14, and I'll be completely honest with you. The prior 2 years of this, I went through the motions. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
this is just, I'm
This
sick
is a
of it.
joke.
But
Yeah.
I told Farrah, Farrah left, who works Clutch Sports. I said, Farrah, she asked me this morning, she said, how you feeling about media day? And I said, well, it's never like it's just a lot of stuff to do and over and
Yeah.
over and to say this thing again and again and again and again. I said, but I'm trying to look at this media day as like, this is my 14th one. Like, appreciate it because there's going to be a day where I may wish I had a media day. And so that's the mindset that I went into media day with this year. And it was great. It was fun. You try to have as much fun as you can, get it, all the stuff you need to get done. But overall, I'm blessed, man, to be second round pick going into 14th media day with the same people and the same team, right? I'm honored, and I try to show that today with my participation and everything that they asked us to do.
Great answer. After 2 years of just phoning it in.
Yeah, I was completely just like,
yeah, you
can
changed.
you cut this? Can you cut that thing? No,
Yeah.
please don't. And this year I didn't cut anything. I did everything.
Wow.
I didn't look at the time. I didn't look at my list of things that I had to do. I just wanted to fully embrace what it was that media they had to offer, and it was good.
And very impressive. Well, from a veteran, this is what we do, a transition in the business. A veteran to a rookie, Jackson Dart, big time performance. Big time
Big time.
performance. He was, to go up against the Chargers and Jim Harbaugh in your first ever NFL game is tough, really tough. He gets the win, has the game-winning touchdown with his legs. I was really impressed with him. He got sacked 5 times, hung in there. I don't know how much of the game you got to see, but what did you like from Jackson Dart?
I think, like I said, I still don't love the fact that they've thrown him in this soon, although, listen, he could be special. He looked special the other day, and make it all work. I don't love their offensive line anyway. Like, and him getting sacked 5 times just isn't great. Nonetheless, like you said, he hung in there and he stayed tough. He looked like a player. And, he's been under the tutelage of Lane Kiffin, who was a premier offensive mind when it comes to the NFL, and so he's been prepared for the success that he had. Now, things change a little bit once teams get film on you, so we'll see, how he can continue to build from that. But that Chargers defense is real. And to go in there, he's the first quarterback all year to outplay Justin Herbert. But he outplayed Justin Herbert. He was able to come out with the win, a very unlikely win that I don't think anyone expected. But he looked good. He looked the part. He looked confident. And more importantly, it looked like guys believed in him. And I think that was something different than we've seen out of the New York Giants this year. It's like, I don't know if guys quite believed in Russ or don't like Russ. Like, I don't know what the thing is, but you could see the way the team rallied around him. And you know, I think that's a special thing when you got guys rallying around you and going out to play for you. That's great and that's infectious and that sets you up for success. So, it was good to see him have the success because, as you know, I am not a Brick Brian Daboll fan.
If you're Brian Daboll, and obviously you're coaching for your job, you
Yeah,
have to show that Jackson Dart. You got to feel pretty good about, okay, we got one.
100%. And coaching for your job like he is, I think that's why you make that move because you
Yeah.
can't just how the story ends with Russ.
Yeah.
Just over the last couple teams he's been on, and so you kind of got to swing for the fences. It's probably the first thing Dayball has done that may earn some respect.
Okay? So do players respect that he made that change out of necessity to potentially save his job? Like, does that play in?
Yeah, you're never mad at a guy fighting for his job. Like what you don't want to see is someone lay down. So I don't think any player is looking at that like, man, he just throwing him out there to save
Right.
himself. Like,
Okay.
I don't think any player would ever, at least not a winner, would not look at like that. But nor should anyone. Like we're all trying to save our jobs and do better at the end of the day. And so you got to respect him for going for it. He really has no choice. Like this is it. If he can't get it done this year, it's over. And so
Yeah.
I respect him going for it. And it paid out the first week of it. We'll see how it continues to pan out.
The Draymond, we're going to talk with Arik Armstead about the turf grass debate. But one of the big takeaways Sunday was once again another star player going down on turf. This time it was Malik Neighbors from the Giants. I actually tweeted this out. The same team, same day, 4 years previously, or 6 years, I should say, was Odell Beckham Jr. Against the Chargers. But the bottom line is Malik Neighbors tears his ACL on that freaking turf. And I've been saying this for a long time. We should be playing on grass. And Odell actually said this in a tweet. We prioritize player safety more so than ever before when it comes to the NFL. But for whatever reason, when it comes to the grass turf debate, we're still playing on turf. And MetLife has traditionally one of the least forgiving surfaces. And it happened to Malik Neighbors. And it's just, Draymond, what else do we need evidence-wise before we make a change?
Listen, I agree. I think, like you said, it has been widely noted that MetLife, like there's turf, and then
Yeah.
there's MetLife turf, which is a totally different thing. And, I don't know how much more data, if you will, examples, if you will, we need to make the change. But what I will say is, at the end of the day, though, all this stuff always boils down to dollars and cents. And it's cheaper to have the turf. It's a cheaper upkeep than the grass, especially when you start talking about a place like New York City. It's a lot cheaper. But what about the investment that you're making in the players?
Yes, man.
It becomes to a certain point where it's just like, it's kind of blasphemous. Like how many examples
Great players are
need?
going to sacrifice their careers.
Odell was on the way to
Yes.
greatness.
Yeah.
You say Malik's on the way to greatness, and these guys are suffering. I think it's going to end up getting to a point to where you're going to have premier receivers, premier skill players. I don't want to play in New York because I don't want to play on this turf. And, it's unfortunate for a young guy like Malik. I hope and pray that he bounce back from this because he's incredible and he deserves every right to go out and be incredible. But this turf, I don't love it. And it's like at a certain point, the owners aren't going to do it. They've made that clear that they're not going to do it. So at some point, you're going to need Roger Goodell to step in and say, you have to do it or you cannot play home games. And if you go, you have to do this, you can't play home games, they'll change it in a heartbeat. Everybody wants home games. That's a lot of money.
That's a great answer. I would just add that any player that you talk to, it's unanimous. They'd rather play on grass. Arik Armstead said it really simply. This is what you grow up playing on.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I understand that there's been advancements in the turf, but the evidence is dramatically different. I remember last year, and I don't have it in front of me, but it's like a massive increase, specifically in non-contact knee injuries when it comes to turf versus grass.
Yeah.
And so when you're talking about, Malik Neighbors or Odell or any of these Giants players, Jets players that are tearing up their knees on this freaking surface, man, it's just a killer. And I would actually, I would probably agree with you. It would take something as drastic as a Roger Goodell coming in and laying out the guidelines for something to really change.
And I think it should be done. Like, at the end of the day, you want the best players on the floor. You want the best players on the field. That's just what it boils down to. And if it's something as simple as, hey, we don't need more turf, get grass out there because these guys are more accustomed to playing in grass. They cut better in grass. It's safer for them to play in grass. Then damn it, get some grass, period.
Well said.
All right, we're going to get into grass versus turf and a whole lot more with our exciting next guest, Arik Armstead. But first, a word from our friends at Fanatics. Other sports books just don't hit right, but FanCash makes switching to Fanatics Sportsbook easy. Only Fanatics gives you up to 10% back on all bets, win or lose. You can use your FanCash to unlock the world of Fanatics, from more bets to tickets to memorabilia and one-of-a-kind experiences that only Fanatics can offer. Don't leave rewards on the table this football season.
Switch to Fanatics Sportsbook and let the FanCash roll in. Winning is different here.
Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook app. Hashtag Fanatics Sportsbook Partner. Want to welcome in Jaguars standout defensive lineman Arik Armstead to the show. Has been a dominant force in this league a long time. Premier player, also premier person. One of my good buddies, former hooper at Oregon, by the way. No joke. Can really go. Although he did tell me he hasn't played in a while, so these football guys that think they can hook, you just don't know. Arik, welcome to the program.
Appreciate you guys having me, man. What's up?
Absolutely. Definitely appreciate
Dre, how are
coming
you
on.
guarding Arik? I mean, Arik is probably about your size. How are you guarding Arik? I mean, I assume he's got a decent touch. Are you just forcing him to shoot, or are you bodying him up?
I mean, listen, I'm a smart defender, Jordan. I don't overwhelm people with my strength. I don't overwhelm people with my size. I outthink people. And Arik, he'd have to be no different. He's gonna outweigh me. We're pretty much the same height. Little fun fact, we spent several years out here in the Bay Area together during his time with the 49ers. So, at games and different things. I'm a smart defender, Jordan. I play position defense. I like to beat you to the spot by outthinking you and knowing that you're going there. Not that I'm quicker and go. His first step is way quicker than mine. That's how he gets sacks. Come on, man. It's crazy.
Nah,
it's crazy.
Draymond was a defender that definitely would have gave me problems. Like, I didn't like those, like, feisty, you know what I'm saying? Just like, just
active.
Yeah, just active, just like little pesty dudes. Like, I think Draymond would have gave me a little trouble, but I could have got a couple buckets though. But yeah, it would have been a long day for sure. Draymond's one of the greatest of all time. So much respect to you, bro. Appreciate you guys having me on the show. Always was major respect being in the Bay Area all those years, coming to y'all games, seeing y'all dominate. And, we had some dominant years too, my time in the Bay. So we had the Bay turned for sure.
The Bay was lit. You better act like y'all know, Jordan. Y'all was taking L's while we was making them runs, Jordan. The Niners was whooping Seattle's ass.
They were. I think Arik's best season was, Arik, you had 10 sacks in Super Bowl year, right?
Yeah, our first Super Bowl year had 10 sacks, 3 in the playoffs. in 2019, and then we had another Super Bowl year in 2023. Had a good year that year too.
Yeah. We were just talking off camera about grass and turf, and Draymond asked you, is it a lot different? How would you respond to that? Because obviously it's a big debate.
Yeah, huge debate going around the league. I think it's been a major conversation for years now. And, you know, us as the player level, even to the highest of, the commissioner and the NFL and ownership and all that, it's been a top of a conversation. And, for us players, you know, I know we all prefer grass, and it's always an injury conversation. And excluding like the major injuries, that can come with playing on turf, it's just like the everyday wear and tear on like your knees, back, ankles, hips, like when you're cutting, planting, stopping, like it's just more stress and strain on your joints. So I'm a big proponent of grass. I love playing on grass. It's softer. It allows me to play with a, clearer mind, just go out
Freer.
there and play.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and, that's what we grew up playing on, when you were little kids. Well, my generation, we had grass. Like, this turf stuff is relatively new, and, maybe kids nowadays got used to and growing up playing on turf, but, I always played on grass growing up, and that's what football is about, that smell, those stains, those muddy games, later in the year, man. That's what I think we need.
That's fire. It reminds me, like, in middle school, at my middle school, we had carpet in our gym. Like, and the difference, it was really a competitive advantage for us who practiced on it every day because you just knew how to deal with the carpet. But
Mhm.
you felt way better when you went to a gym with a wooden court. Like,
Yeah.
it's just the way the game is made to be played. And I kind of see that same thing with turf. I remember growing up, also in high school, I played football my freshman year. I played JV football. I was not a standout. I'll make that clear. But in Flint, Michigan, there was one stadium. It was called Atwood Stadium, and it had this turf. And man, I got cracked back on kickoff return so
Uh-huh.
crazy. I never I hit the ground, opened my eyes back up. It was black. I saw stars. I had to be concussed, but I never told anyone. I just got up and fought through it. But
Yeah.
man, hitting the ground on turf and think that is that's like 2005. That wasn't the turf with the
The
rubber dirt
pellets.
on it,
Yeah.
the rubber
Yeah.
pellets. That was just turf and on
Turf.
top of concrete.
Concrete.
Mhm.
Man,
Ugh.
it was terrible.
That was the day. That was the day you like, I think I'm a hoop.
I told
Yeah.
my grandfather after that game, bro. Right after that game, I told my grandfather. I said, "Granddad, I think I'm done. Like I don't really want to play football anymore." And he was like, "Well, son, everything we start, we finish. Now, if you don't want to play
Yeah.
next year, then you don't have to play, but you're going to finish this year."
Yeah.
And true to my grandfather's word, I finished that year, and I never went back out there again. That was it for
Yeah.
me.
You did for the
Yeah.
spring game.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, that was an opportunity. I said, listen, this will be my last time in life having
Yeah.
an opportunity to play football. And because I was good enough at basketball for them to throw me out there for a play, I took advantage of it. But,
Yeah.
Jordan, you're going to
Wha
stop pointing that play out because you be making people think I was really trying to play football and I wasn't.
What's
Got
your
jammed.
what's your take on this basketball, football, discussion? Guys
Yeah.
thinking they could play in other leagues, and football players thinking, "Oh man, these dudes making all this money. I should have hooped."
Yeah.
And hoopers thinking like, "Oh man, I could really go out there on the football field." Like, what's your take on it? Like, for someone who has played both, done it, had a little experience in college as well too. I kind of feel like we're in a similar boat. I played in one career game, my college career.
1 for 1.
Uh, I went 1 for 1. Boom, they dropped it to me in the post. Boom, got a bucket. I played like 3 minutes, and then I retired the next day. I was like, "Yeah, I'm done with y'all, bro." So I'm 1 for 1 in my career. So I feel like we got a kind of, similar similar kind of college journeys, but flip sports. Like, what's your
Mhm.
take on? Can guys really, really play in the other leagues?
Well, here's a couple things that I would say. Number one is the learning curve for football is so steep. And I went out there for that one day. It was very evident to me right away why, at that time, most freshmen redshirted. Because it's just so much to learn. And what I will tell you is, as basketball players, we don't study film like y'all do. Like, we
Yeah, I
don't.
don't.
Basketball players do not study the game. Most basketball players, there's a couple, you look
Mhm.
at the LeBrons, the Chris Pauls, myself, like there's a few, but the majority, we don't study film like y'all do. Number two, I am as physical of a basketball player as there is. I just can't wrap my mind around the idea that y'all go out, like you wake up and you say, okay, I'm about to go out there on a football field and get hit again today and then tomorrow. And then, like, I just can't wrap my head around it. There are no basketball players who can go play in the NFL. Are there some basketball players that have the talent or the physical makeup
For
of
sure.
some NFL players? No question. But there's none with the
Mentally.
mindset. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you didn't got to have the mindset. And
Yeah.
I just don't think that we are built the way football players are built. Like it takes a special human being to do that thing. And so I don't think there's a single player in the NBA that can play in the NFL.
Hmm.
Now, you reverse it. I don't think there's guys in the NFL that can play in the NBA. Like, the skill
it ain't
level
happening,
that the
bro.
NBA requires at this point is far too much. So when I hear people say that, it just simply lets me know that they don't have a clue of what they're talking about.
Here's my quick take on it. All right. I think you have to look at the barriers to entry. Basketball, I could go to the park and play right now, pick up if I wanted to. Like, if we had a game tomorrow, I feel like you would be better off inserting a football player into a basketball game. I could play pickup. I know how to, run up and down the floor and try to play
Right.
defense, try to
Right.
score. Like, throwing a basketball player into a football game would, like, someone would get hurt. So there's that. But I think on a long term, like, say you had a year to plan, like a year to prep, I think that a basketball player would do better trying to play in the NFL than giving a football player a year to try to play in the NBA. And here's why. Football is a position-specific sport. If you have extreme athleticism or size, you'll
Yeah.
get a shot. You see guys get a shot all the time that don't play a lick of football, but they're just crazy athletic or crazy big, crazy strong. And like, we're like, okay, the football coach is like, man, I can work with that. I could try to get him to do something. So I don't see like you training a football player within a year enough to have a success on a basketball floor. Like, but I think that, given a year, you got a guy who's got the right mentality, physical enough. I think you could give him a year to, maybe do something.
We've
He
seen
might be on the practice squad at least
Mhm.
because the coach is like, man, let's just get him on the roster, see what we can do with him. Like,
but
Yeah.
that happens
we-
all the time.
Antonio Gates, Tony Gonzalez. We've seen a lot of tight ends do it. you
Yeah.
know. That's the position that
Yep.
seems to be from basketball. Like the
And you know what that
6'5",
is, though?
6'6" guys.
I was just about to say, you know what that usually is, though? Undersized bigs.
Undersized bigs.
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Because
usually
now all
what
of a
it is.
sudden you're a freak in the NFL. We harness that, and you become a real matchup problem. A lot of
now-
these
but-
tight ends were at least high-level hoopers in high school, let alone college.
But now
Yep,
you're giving
Jimmy
me false
Graham,
hope
Tony
because I'm an
Gonzalez,
undersized
Antonio
big.
Gates, Julius Thomas.
Julius Thomas,
was a-
absolutely.
Yeah, he was a Pro Bowl. I think he hooped at Portland State before
He did,
uh,
and tight end.
before
Yeah,
playing
and
football.
another one is Julius
Um,
Peppers.
Yeah, Julius Peppers played both.
Carolina.
McNabb hooped
Yeah.
a little bit too at Cuse. So some
Yeah.
of these guys can do it. I think the other ways you never see. I mean, when have we seen a basketball player go play football? It doesn't happen. I mean,
Yeah,
a football player go play
a
basketball. It doesn't
football
happen.
player. No,
Nah, that's
it's rare. And have like a high level of success.
No.
yeah, that's gonna be hard.
Yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely. Man, switching gears though, I gotta ask you. Obviously, it's always fun, seeing the game when it play. Like, what was that like? Big time W versus the Niners, and you close the game out with a strip sack. What's that moment like? Like, you've been around the league since 2015, 10 years in, 11 years
Mhm.
now. Like, is that the play that's still like that moment never gets old? What's that moment like just yesterday?
It was crazy moment, for real, bro. It was my first. I was in the Bay for 9 years, so my first time playing the Niners, coming back to Levi's, um, and talking about to seal the game in that fashion. You couldn't write a better story, to be honest. Like, it was so crazy, but really, bro, it was nothing but God, bro. Like, God just wanted that moment to happen. Like, we ran the play. I rushed against the center, and Purdy was just sitting right there. I'm like, the ball is right there, and I just reached out
Wow.
and stripped it from him. Like, it was just crazy. But being in the NFL for 11 years now, having a long career, at this point, man, like, I really am big on like living in the moment each game, enjoying the memories and everything that comes with it with my teammates, my brothers. Football is a tough sport. Uh, you know, it's a physical sport. You go through a lot, and like that's what makes those moments special. In a moment like that, I wish I could have a teleportation system where like people can experience a feeling like that of going to play against your old team and closing out the game with a strip sack. Like, bro, it was legendary. Something I'll never forget. Saw all my old homies, guys that I still have a lot of love for because, bro, like you've been grinding
Mhm.
and putting in so much with the same people year in, year out. Those bonds never go away. So to do it in that fashion was an amazing experience for sure.
That's a great answer, and actually parlaying it to the next question, which is you've been in the league over a decade. This is a kind of a two-parter, which is in journalism school what they tell you not to do, but Eric can handle it. How has the league changed during your tenure, and more specifically, how has pass rush or defensive lineman changed during your tenure in the NFL?
The league has changed a lot. I feel like I came to the league in 2015. I still feel like I came in like as the league was ushering away from like old school football. Like when I got in the league 2015, 2016, there was fullbacks, big tight ends. Seattle was running the ball every play with Marshawn. Like it was still old school smash mouth
Yeah.
football. I was in the wedge on kickoff return, holding
Wow.
hand, like on some gladiator type stuff, having these guys running down. And I'm
Awful.
like, dang. My
Awful.
my rookie year, I was like, man, I'll never do this again.
Yeah, this is
I bet
awful.
I bet someone my rookie year. Now
I'm not doing
special
any more teams.
we
Yeah.
just had this conversation about how you gotta have a mind
Yeah.
to play
Special teams.
NFL football. You got Draymond to play special teams. You gotta be crazy, or these old special teams. They changed the kickoff rules and all that.
Still though,
Yeah.
because you're
It's another level
Yeah.
of craziness to football players if you play special teams. And
Mm.
some people, that's all they do is play special teams. Run down full speed 50 yards and just smash into each other. I'm like,
those
bro.
gunners going up against two dudes. That's
I'm
so
like, bro,
tough.
I gotta start because I am not trying to do this no more.
That
Like,
is
bro,
crazy.
I'm not trying to do this no more. I
Yeah.
remember I bet another rookie, Blake Bell. He played for
Oklahoma.
the Chiefs. Yeah, Oklahoma played for
Yeah.
the Chiefs. I said, Blake, if I ever play another special teams rep, I'll give you $5,000. Like I made it my mission. Like I'm gonna be a starter. I'm gonna be a impactful player. Like, I'm not trying to be on kickoff return no more, bro. Like, them boys are really crazy who do that. So the league has
Sure.
definitely changed from that standpoint. And in terms of D-line play, I feel like it's just like with any sport. We continue to evolve, learn from one another. As the game changes, your position changes. It's shifted from a lot of run game to more passing. So you got to shift your game. Like interior pass rushers, specifically defensive tackles, has elevated these last 10 years. You look at guys like Aaron Donald. Um, before him, there was few and far between defensive tackles that were getting double digit sacks and
Yeah.
really impacting the game from that level. And like now it's like D tackles, like we're popping, bro. Like dudes, the market is crazy right now.
Yeah,
Like,
Yes, it is.
man, Chris Jones got it turned up, 32 million a year. Guys making 30 M's a year at D tackle.
Matabuki. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, cause we're really like stopping the run and really getting after the passer. And um we're closer to the quarterback. Like, so we can have a bigger effect on the game. It really like it's hard for a edge rusher if he doesn't have a interior push and someone in the middle working the pocket. So our value is at an all-time high. I love the position that we're in as a defensive line. It's a premier position now. It's not, oh, like go hold up some guys. We're gonna give you
Yeah.
money to go hold up blockers and let the linebackers run and make all the plays. Like, not like we're really dynamic players now. So I love that aspect. I love being a part of that. And yeah, I love where the game is at for our position right now.
And just speaking of how the game has changed, did you ever expect that you would see someone actually play both sides of the ball in the NFL? Like, how special does that make Travis just in that alone?
Yeah. The the special thing about Travis is this young generation of athlete, like I love it because you can't tell them, like you can't put them in a box.
Mhm.
And we spoke about it earlier being two sport athletes. Like when I was a kid, my dream was to play in the NBA and the NFL. And like at that time, you couldn't tell me no, like nah, you can't do that. Like people used to, but I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't end up doing it. Who knows? Maybe one day. But I got to where I'm at now, by
Mhm.
dreaming big. And so I see that in Travis. Like he dreams big. Like he's changing the game. He's breaking down barriers for what we think is possible for football players. And who are we to tell him that he can't do it? And I love that for him, and um, even though he's the first one, who knows who's going to come behind him and follow his lead, you know?
That part.
Yeah.
Maybe even a better player than Travis, that him doing what he's doing, uh, a younger, maybe even a better athlete is like, oh, he did it. Imagine what
Right.
I can do with
Mhm.
my talent. Like I'm gonna take the game to a whole nother level. So I love what he's doing. He's a great teammate. He's an impactful player. And we're happy to have him on the team. And I was a part of his welcome him into the NFL. I did his draft pick, which was
Yeah.
a cool experience and was a part of history. So
I love that behind the scenes that you posted. It was
yeah,
really dope. I love when you do all the BTS stuff, Eric. I love when you do what
appreciate
does a defensive lineman eat. I'm fascinated by that. It's great. It's great content. What did how has Liam Coen changed the locker room, and will he ever live down the Duval
you.
chant?
I don't think how's he changed the locker room? We'll start there. It's a whole new vibe, I feel like, that we got going. and it's a group effort, not just him. He's the leader, but you got to look at like first time head coach, first time defensive coordinator, first time GM, first time offensive coordinator. Like these are all
Yeah.
young, hungry dudes, like trying to like take over. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like imagine like you and your roommates, y'all ain't got nothing yet, but y'all all
Right.
come together like, hey man, I'm about to do this. You gonna do this. You gonna do this, and we all grinding together. Like that's why I feel like the type of time that they're on is like they really trying to like level up and take over, and that energy like permeates throughout our building, and that's the type of time we're on too, like as players. So it's pretty cool. And another thing too is just the communication that Liam has had with all of us, like very open policy, like come speak how you feel. Um, and he truly wants to create like togetherness and a brotherhood. So it's been dope, and it's been a great start. We got a long way to go as a team, but it's been a great start.
Duval.
Living that down. I was telling people like, man, that might be how people start saying it moving forward, depending how we do as a team. Like,
Right.
Those
if we go crazy, people might be like, hey, maybe he was on to
Yeah.
something.
That part. Moments like that always live forever. Obviously, you're special yourself, but you've had some opportunities to play with some special pass rushers. What's the difference in playing with like a Josh Hines Allen as opposed to like a Nick Bosa?
Not big differences, to be honest. Different types of players. I play with a lot of great players.
Yeah.
Trevon Walker too is really starting to pop.
Yeah, Trayvon
Yeah.
is a special player. DeForest Buckner, we played together in college and in the NFL. D Ford was special. Played with Chase Young, Javon Hargrave, Javon Kinlaw. So I play with a lot of great players, and I think what makes special units, and I've truly honestly believe like I played for some of the best D lines as in the league. It's just the togetherness. Like it's all different. Guys play a little different, but it's really all about being like on that same like wavelength. I rushed with Bosa for like 5 years, in high pressure situations, playoff games, Super Bowls, like, and it's just getting on that same wavelength. And that's what we're doing here in Jacksonville
Yeah.
now, is building that, that continuity between us all. Trayvon, #1 pick in the league, probably the most freak athlete I done been around. And Josh in the same regard too, 6'6", 275, 4'5", like just crazy freak athletes and tremendous players, like really dedicated to their craft. So that's what we're building now, and I'm excited to continue to build that.
Arik, I think the last one for me, because we love a good list. We love a good list. This is a tough question, but how about the top 5 meanest O-linemen you played against?
Top 5 meanest O-linemen?
Meanest.
Man, I
Who
don't
are
got
just
enough. I don't got enough credit in me to give that.
To give it,
Like,
yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you.
How about
I played
Yeah.
against some great players. The best offensive lineman I've been around, hands down, is Trent Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Best,
Trent's
the
the best
best.
I've been around. Had some great battles against Zach Martin. Great player. We played the Cowboys, like, seemed
A
like
lot,
every year.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so me and him had some battles. A lot of respect for him. And those are ones that
Those are the
stick
two.
out. And
Yeah.
there's some people that got me early in my career, and then
You figured
when
it
I
out.
was when I was a young pup, and then I had to get right. But those are the two. Trent's the best I've been around. A lot of respect for Zach Martin in my battles against him.
Yeah.
And
Listen,
I'm the type
man.
of player too, like, so Zach Martin plays right guard. I like playing left defensive tackle.
Okay.
Now, some people is like, all right, Zach Martin is a good player. Let me go try to find the fish. Let me go rush over here to try to find the weakest link. But I know I'm gonna stay right here and I'm gonna go against Zach Martin because that's where I like playing. He's right there. I'm not gonna go switch.
Yeah.
So every game, I was lined up over him every play, and we had our battles. So
I love that because I think right there, then there's also the mental component that comes into it, right? Like at some point, if you go switch, like obviously Zach Martin watches film and he knows that you love to play on the left side. So then if you
Mhm.
go switch all of a sudden the game that you playing against him, but then all of a sudden the D coordinator, all of a sudden he calls a play that has you lined up on that side anyway, you already lost the mental battle because you ran from him already.
Yeah,
And so I can
facts.
respect like lining up. Like, nah, this is where I play.
Mhm.
I'm gonna stay right here where I like to be lined up at and go against the great one. So
Yep.
I can respect that, man. Cause the mental edge, I always tell young people, they always ask me, like, yo, if there's one piece of advice you can give a young fella, what would you say to him? Like, bro, you gotta be able to win the mental edge. If you can't win the mental edge, you already lose. And
Mhm.
running away, like completely different thing, but when guys flop and fake and act like I completely took them out just to give me a tech or throw, bro, I never respect you again. Like I have zero respect for you. You just flopped and laid on the floor to try to get a call. What about who you are as a man? I'll never respect you again. And that's kind of how I view that. Like you
But
can't
haven't
run
you
away from
flopped,
the challenge.
Draymond?
You ain't never flopped to get a call?
Flop is one thing. Flop to try to get somebody kicked out of a series, to get suspended from a game. That's a totally to flop and get the ball to go one way. That's one. To lay out like you got killed so you can try to get somebody
I
thrown
feel
the
you. I
Right.
game.
feel you on
I
that.
can't respect that. I could never respect that. Like everybody take a dive to sell a car, no question. Like
Yeah.
Bron. Bron.
somebody grabbed you and you rushing, you gonna flail your arms to show the referee that he grabbed you,
Yeah.
no question, right?
Bloody
But like
Divock, man.
Yeah,
like
Divock.
you take a dive to get somebody out, you're afraid.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I can't respect that.
Nah, facts. Like that's just like being happy that like someone's out of the series or like not playing in the game. Like, oh yeah, they're not playing. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
he's
I'm
out.
happy.
Yeah.
Versus like, oh, he's a great player. Like, man, it's an opportunity for me to be legendary. Like, that's how I used to look at it. Like when I'm in playoff games, it's like, man, it's an opportunity for me to
Yeah.
put my name up there too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Not like a like got it the easy way because
Yeah.
so and so wasn't playing or you know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to be legendary up there. Like and
Yeah.
you gotta play against the best to put your name up there. So
Yeah.
One,
Yeah.
one
Last
thousand.
question for me to that point. When you won Walter Payton Man of the Year, Eric, what was the first reaction? How did you digest that information?
That's
Knowing that because you had been nominated multiple times. And I would imagine that you kept thinking maybe this isn't meant to be, and then you win it, which is the ultimate honor in pro football. How did that
Yeah.
sink in for you?
well, this is the real of how it went. So I was nominated 5 times.
Yeah.
I would say like my third nomination, I was like, okay, I think I'm, got a pretty good shot. Didn't happen, but from 2023, the 2023 year, I won in 2024. 2023 year, they changed the process of how they do it. So like in 2022, Dak won, and like we're looking, it's like he's kind of reading, or it's kind of like he knew he won before.
Oh, okay.
And they kind of
Right.
told us like, we're gonna tell you like the day before or whatever, so you can prepare speech, do what you got to do. We really wanted to, you know,
Yeah.
for honors to go well. So the year before me, I asked Cam Hayward, I'm like, did you know if you won? He was like, bro, I had no clue. They didn't tell me until till
That's
my
what it was
video
called.
till my video popped up at honors.
Oh,
I said,
wow.
I got nervous, bro. I said, oh, because this was like the day, before the day of honors. So I got nervous. I'm thinking, like, now maybe I didn't win. You know what I'm saying? But when
Oh.
he told me like they didn't tell him, I said, oh, okay. So
So I
I'm
got a
really not
chance.
gonna know until the moment. So I
Wow.
wanted to use the opportunity to deliver a message, but I didn't know if I was gonna win or not. So I was kind of thinking in my head throughout the day, like, man, what would I want to say? What would I want to, you're millions of people are watching and
Yeah, it's a big deal.
they got to
Yeah.
listen to you talk. And I was just going over it in my head, throughout the day. I was nervous once we got to honors because I'm like, dang, now I really don't know. And then my video pops up and I'm like, dang, that's me. Okay.
I guess I
I'm
won.
like, dang, that's me. I gotta go do this speech. So the
Wow.
video pops up. I see that it's me. My heart is boom, 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 boom. Right? But the video was like a minute and a half. So I was like, okay,
Collect.
lock in, Eric, lock in. All right, bet. Hug my wife, walk up to the stage, and felt like I did the best I could, in the moment, no teleprompter, no nothing of delivering the speech of humanity and um us as a society, coming together in times where we're constantly being divided and some of the messaging that I wanted to speak to people about that night. And it was an amazing night, living in the moment like I talked about earlier. And yeah, it was a huge night for not only me, but my family and everyone that I represent and our organization. And the main thing I think about is like what I'll be able to do with the platform of this award. And we're already doing so much great work. Got a lot in store, both at our nonprofit, but
Arik Armstead Foundation.
Armstead Academic Project.
Armstead Academic.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And yeah, we got a lot in store. Yeah, a lot of exciting things coming up. So really happy of the work that we're going to be able to do in the lives that we'll be able to change with the award like this and the platform that the NFL provides. One of the probably the largest platform in our world. So
Yeah.
That's a fact. Now, that's amazing, man, and congrats on that. Incredible what you're doing in the city of Sacramento to continue to give kids like yourself an opportunity to make it out and to do that, not even from an athletic side, but from an academic side. That's extremely
It's really
special.
cool. Yeah.
But man, can't
Appreciate
thank
you.
you enough for coming on the show, man. It's as a basketball player, it's always an honor to step inside your sport and hear the ins and outs and how y'all go about your business and the different feelings that the sport can provide because it's two completely different realms. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it's always an honor for me. I got so much love and respect for the game, and
Mm-hmm.
guys like yourself coming on and sharing some of that love. Super thankful. We're super thankful. Can't thank you enough for coming on, bro.
No, I appreciate you guys, man. It was a dope conversation. Y'all know, I got a lot of love for both of you. So, and I love what you guys are doing with this show too, man. It's
Thank you.
definitely needed. I know people want to hear from both you guys' perspectives. So, it's dope what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Eric, thank you. And
Yeah.
everyone needs to check out Third and Long, as I've been saying for a long time. New co-host Michael Bennett, aka Moses Bread. One of my favorites. I love
sir.
Michael Bennett. Eric, where can people find you if they want to connect?
Arik Armstead on Instagram, armsteadproject.org. You can find more information on our nonprofit, the Armstead Academic Project. And if you want to see more content, TikTok, Instagram, but also Third and Long is our football podcast, co-hosted with Michael Bennett. And we have episodes weekly wherever you can find your podcast.
Love it.
And Eric, we'll talk soon, brother. Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate you guys, man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks again to Arik Armstead for joining the show, another phenomenal guest. Now, as always, we go to Picks and Parlays, presented by Fanatic Sportsbook. Draymond, we were one catch away from JSN in our Super Parlay. One catch. So with that in mind, we go to a three-legged San Francisco at the Rams. So we have to agree on all of these. That's the key. The Rams are a 5-point favorite. It's been going 5.5, but they're a 5-point favorite currently against the visiting Niners. The Niners, who Eric's Jaguars just beat. Anytime touchdown. There's a few that I like, but the one that I'll highlight is Puka Nacua, minus 115. I also like Devontae Adams, friend of the show, plus 130. He has a TD in 3 straight weeks. Between those two, what do you like?
Between those two, I think Puka is obviously he's playing incredible.
He's been
amazing.
outstanding, even better than before. He's averaging over 10 catches a game. He's got 400 and something yards already, not to mention a rushing touchdown. He's like on another level, bro. So
yes,
I like him to find the end zone.
I love Puka to find the end zone. But I think for me personally, I got to go with Tay. I just think Tay, the target that he is in the end zone area, Sean McVay is always going to find a way to scheme and get him a one-on-one down in the red zone. And so I personally, as much as I like Puka and I think he's playing incredible, I would love to go with Devontae Adams as an anytime touchdown. And plus, we get better odds.
All right, fine. We'll do that then, because I'm good with that. 3 straight weeks of a touchdown for Tay. Next up is passing yards is one of the ones we're looking at. Matthew Stafford, 250 plus. I don't like that. I don't like Purdy either, especially if he's questionable. I do like McCaffrey, 6+ catches, because if Mac Jones starts, they're going to be throwing the ball a ton to the running back. But Purdy does as well. So I like McCaffrey, 6+ catches. The other one, back to Puka, 8+ catches, 100+ receiving. I like Puka, 8+ catches. He's averaging over 10 catches a game.
I'm not mad at that.
I like Puka, 8+.
And especially when you have a coach that's like, okay, if we can't get you down the field right now, then we'll just throw a little dump off pass and get the ball into your hands and let you do the work. So I'm not mad at that at all. They're going to continue to favor him if Purdy's, if Stafford can get him the ball, that's his first, second, and third look, and then he's looking Tay's ways, and then also just having Tay on the field. I think it lessens. Like you're able to send Puka in motion and get him lined up with Xavier Howard every possession, and he was cooking Xavier Howard. So I just think with the Rams offense, they're able to get Puka in
they manufacture touches.
Yeah, 1,000%.
McVay is a genius at that, and not just manufacturing like the BS bubbles, but like I don't know, man. There's just, you watch the Rams play, it's different than watching almost any other team offensively.
1,000%.
It just
and then
feels like
Stafford can just make every
Stafford
throw.
is still so gifted.
Every throw.
Yeah,
so
still so gifted.
I'd have to say I'm totally fine with.
Okay, so that's
Puka,
our second
8
prop.
receptions, 100 yards.
Our third prop, I would go Devontae, 5+ catches.
I love that one. We're going heavy Rams receivers. I like that. I'm not mad at that at all. They've been dominant. And it's a short week, so you got the defensive backs coming in on the short week. I think short week always favors the offensive players.
So to summarize, Draymond, a 3-leg parlay for this week, Devontae Adams, anytime touchdown. Devontae, 5+ catches. And Puka Nacua, 8+ catches. Let's make some money.
Let's do it.
As always, be sure to check out our parlay in the Fanatic Sportsbook app right along with us Thursday night. All right, now it's time for Draymond's least favorite part of the show, head-to-head pick'em. Each week we pick the 4 hottest games. Draymond, finally a big week 4 for you, climbing out of that massive Grand Canyon-size hole. You were 3-1 against the spread. You're now 6-9. I was 2-2. I'm now 9-6. These are like the 4 best games in theory. Tampa Bay at Seattle. So the Bucks the Bucs come off a really tough loss. They were down 14-0 to Philly. They climb back, end up losing 31-25. The Seahawks come off a mini bye plus a win over Arizona. They're 3-1, and obviously they got the 12th man. Seattle's a 3.5-point favorite. My first instinct, which is how I always do these, is Tampa. Getting 3.5.
I'll take the opposite. I'll take Seattle minus 3.5. I think
I swear you're only doing that because if I would have taken
cross-country
Seattle,
games are tough, man. Cross-country games are really tough, and they're favoring the home team. I think Seattle just had a huge win that they're able to build on. Sam Darnold's playing good football.
he is.
They started off great and then kind of let go of the rope a bit, right? And I think that leaves a nasty taste in your mouth, but you're much happier to get out of there with a win. So I got Seattle building on that. I'll take Seattle minus 3.5.
Next up, Denver at Philly. Eagles -5. To be very clear, this line actually will change as long as the Broncos take care of business. As we record this, just so everyone knows, we are recording during Monday Night Football. Broncos are up 21-3 at the half currently. So let's assume that line goes from 5 to 4. Let's just assume that 4.5. I would probably take the Eagles at home, although I could be persuaded. I would actually ask you what would you take.
I'm going to take the Eagles, no question. Whether it's 5, whether it's 4,
Yeah.
hopefully the line drops, but I'm taking the Eagles regardless.
All right, so let's both take the Eagles there. I'm good with that. Washington at the Chargers. Jaden Daniels, let's assume that he's playing. This just screams Chargers for me. The Chargers are a 3-point favorite, which you mentioned going across the country. They're coming off a bad loss where they went across the country and laid an egg. This is a great I like the Chargers, especially Daniels hasn't played in 2 weeks.
I like the Chargers as well. You can say there could be some benefit to him not playing for 2 weeks, but it's also Jaden Daniels' homecoming. He's going back home.
Yeah, he's an IE guy. It's true.
Playing in front of his hometown fans. I think that's enough motivation for him to go in there and get it done. I like Washington plus 3.
Getting 3. So let's go Ravens Texans. Battle of 1 and 3s. I don't know how Baltimore's 1 and 3. I mean, it's just shocking to me. Although I did pick them last week to lose to the Chiefs, but this is not a 1 and 3 team. And the Texans on paper are better than 1 and 3. So the Ravens are a 3.5-point favorite. I'm going to take Baltimore, but I don't feel great about it. I do not.
And where's the game?
The game's in Baltimore. Here's the issue. Baltimore is missing. They just put Matabuki, their best defensive lineman, on IR. He's out for the year. They are dealing with Travis Jones and Van Noy injuries. So now you're down your 3 best rushers.
And is Lamar's hamstring a real thing?
Right. So that's a good point. Man, that's tough. I'm going to go Baltimore at home because the Houston offensive line has been just so bad. And I feel for C.J. Stroud. Because I think if they protect him, he's a really good quarterback, but they haven't protected him. So I'm going to go Baltimore, but this is a tough line simply because of the injuries.
True, and let's face it, CJ is with a historically bad franchise.
Awful, and I'm worried about that team.
How do you have a rookie standout quarterback and then not protect him at all costs?
Well, there was a stat that we talked about a couple weeks ago. I think that Stroud has been this stat's a little dated now, but it's essentially the same. Stroud has been sacked 40 more times through the same number of games as Andrew Luck was.
Yeah,
and if you remember, Luck was surrounded by historically bad offensive line play. I think that might be why he retired. He never was protected. How do you not build a fortress around C.J. Stroud? They've done the opposite.
I agree. You should build a fortress. Here's what I will say, especially in throwing that stat out, is like at some point, CJ, you got to get rid of the ball faster. You got to you got to account for some of that too. But he should no doubt have a better offensive line. But I'm going to roll with you on this one. I'm going to go Baltimore at home.
Okay, so to summarize, I got Tampa. You got Seattle. We both have Philly. You got the Commanders. I got the Chargers. And we both have Baltimore.
Yes, sir.
So at best, you're going to gain 2 games on me this week. At best.
And then that puts me 1 game back. Like, it's fine, brother. You will be caught. Look how fast it's switching. You will get no problem. I told you last week. By the way, I've just had bad fortune, too. A couple games that should not have been losses.
We both had the Eagles 2 weeks ago. The
Listen.
Rams 2 weeks ago.
That's why it's fine. It's happening, and everyone sees it. And if you want to win.
All right, so we'll track these picks every week, powered by Fanatics Sportsbook. You can follow along and put your own futures in the Fanatics app. Mom's a Lions fan?
Yeah, she is.
Who's her
My
favorite
mom.
all-time Lion, Barry?
Of course, Barry Sanders.
Calvin is
Johnson,
also.
of course.
Yeah.
Right, like
Scott
but
Mitchell.
Barry's the guy. Barry's
Scott
the guy.
Mitchell.
And then one of my personal
Herman
all-time
Moore.
favorites is Charles Rogers.
Oh, well, that's a Sparty. Yeah.
That's a Sparty, and that's a Saginaw High Trojan.
Wow. Charles Rogers was special.
Speaking of which, by the way, Michigan State, I can't believe my Spartans has not retired Charles Rogers' jersey.
That's true.
Man, Buck won the Politnikoff as a sophomore. I'm sorry. To
That's a
my
good point.
Michigan State family, Charles Rogers' jersey must be retired. Like, there's nothing else to wait on. Hall of Fame. The man won the Politnikoff. Enough said. Like, he broke every receiving record we had in 2 years.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Exactly, yeah.
The man deserves to be in the Hall
All-time
of Fame.
Spartan.
And he deserved for his jersey to be retired. R.I.P. Chuck.
All right, that's it for this week's episode of Why is Draymond Green Talking About Football with me, Jordan Schultz. Special thank you to Arik Armstead. Really a great dude, great player. Walter Payton, Man of the Year. Off to an awesome start with the Jags. Pro Bowl caliber start, 3-1 Jags. Subscribe right now on YouTube. Follow us wherever you get your podcasts. And download the Fanatics Sportsbook app so you can make your picks along with us. Draymond, have a great week, and congratulations on a great media day.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. And as we sign out, congratulations to Caleb Williams. He led a win.
He did.
I'm still not sold.
I know you're not. You never will
the
be.
guy leading the franchise. But much love to him, and I'm happy to see he did well.